Thursday, October 31st, 2024. Mental health is real. Seek help and stigma. On the news this morning, reactions as court stops Rivers allocation. Governor Fubara reveals peace deal he signed was ambush as he marks impeachment plot survival anniversary. President Tinubu appoints acting chief of army staff. And on the foreign scene, Spain faces deadliest flood in decades. Details of these and more after this break. You're welcome back. I'm Ifichu Kumoyele with the news. Now, the leader of the faction of the All Progressives Congress APC in Rivers State, Tony Okocha, says the Federal High Court's suspension of the Rivers State government allocation could have been avoided if Governor Siminalayi Fubara has listened to Okocha criticize the governor, claiming he missed a chance to resolve his military. So confidence judiciary to deliver fair justice and called on citizens to stand by the judiciary and support President Tinubu's effort under the Renewed Hope agenda to transform Nigeria. Meanwhile, Governor Fubara says despite the plan to cripple the state, he will still pay the salaries of workers. The governor said this hours after a Federal High Court in Abuja stopped the Central Bank of Nigeria from further releasing monthly financial allocations to the Rivers State government. Speaking during an elaborate Thanksgiving event organized by the Rivers State government to mark the 1 year he survived an impeachment plot, Governor Fubara assured contractors and local government chairmen that they would get their allocations.
This evening, we're here to tell God, to appreciate God. God, the way you did it 1 year ago, we know you're going to do it again for us. So you don't need to bother about the stories that are in social media. That one is the least of your trouble. By tomorrow, I'm still going to pay my contractors. By tomorrow, those of you that have not gotten your salary, whatever their salary, your alert will also get to you. Local government chairman, you've had your jack. Your money is coming to your account.
The governor said his government has remained strong and determined despite all attempts to frustrate it.
They said we're not going to last for 1 week. We have done 1 year plus. We're also doing 1 year anniversary of the attempt. They said those will not leave as local government chairman. Today, we have the local government chairman sitting with us. They said commissioners should resign immediately so that we'll be crippled. Today, we have more than 23 commissioners. By the special grace of God, we have embarked on projects that are touching the life of Rivers. We have shown prudence. We are not here to steal your money. Yesterday, it was declared that Rivers State's transparency and accountability kept them in #1 position.
Governor Fubara also vowed never to implement the other part of the peace agreement because of plans by his detractors to ambush him. The governor, however, clarified that it was not the initiator of the peace deal, which is President Bola Tinubu, that ambushed him, but those he thought was sincere about resolving the emerging crisis.
We went to court immediately. We drew our matters. And you call yourself honorable when you cannot even... It was because we withdrew our matter. Even the matter you filed, you took advantage of it and went and got judgment. Is it not fraud? It shows that you're not honorable. I acted as a honorable man, believing that the agreement should be what we should stand by. And I came and I complied. When I discovered that I was being ambushed, he said, those are the things that they are looking for, to make them feel they are coming back to life. We will not do it.
Correspondent Oyenka Chinwosu reports that the Thanksgiving program saw several popular gospel artists like Aswekie, Frank Edwards, Joe Praise, Ada Zion, and Priye Odede minister in songs to the large crowd that gathered for the event. Reverend Emma Obai and the OPM General Overseer Chinyere Chibuzo were among the clergymen in attendance. Other dignitaries present at the event alongside Governor Fubara and his wife Valerie included Deputy Governor Ngozi Odu, former Governor Celestino Mehie, former Deputy Governor Tele Ikuru and wife, former Deputy Governor Gabriel Toby and wife, River State Chairman of APP Sonny Nwokekoro and his APC counterpart Emeka Beke, traditional rulers, among others. In the meantime, the River State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Joe Johnson, says the state government has appealed the ruling.
Well, we saw this judgment coming the way it did when the trial judge refused 23 council chairmen as joined us, refused the state to change their lawyer, and refused our objection challenging jurisdiction of the Federal High Court, Abuja. The judgment has already been appealed, and I believe that Court of Appeal will upturn the judgment. We're not panicked, and there's no cause for alarm.
Mr. Johnson warned that if the ruling is upheld by the appeal court, it could harm local government workers.
If it were anything to reckon with, it would impact negatively on the civil servants who are the local government here, and it will affect teacher salaries and all that are tied to the local government. So I can imagine how anybody would advocate for the stoppage of money that will bring development to the local government councils and also pay those who work in the council.
In another development, the River State Judiciary Panel of Inquiry set up to investigate recent arson attacks and the destruction of local government secretariat has started its hearing. Iguere local government area was the first to present witnesses supporting its submitted memorandum. The Commission's chairman, Justice I.R. Minakiri, urged all parties to cooperate fully with the inquiry.
So the essence of this exercise here, the commission, is just for us to look into these issues that have been complained about, the happenings of that 7th of October, so that at the end of the day, when they are addressed, we will have to say now, River State, better River State. We are not politicians. We're here, common men who have been chosen by the state to do this, carry out this assignment for the betterment of our state.
The secretary to Iguere Council, Smile Azunda, submitted 7 photographs showing the burnt sections of the secretariat and estimated the damage at over 3 billion naira. Another witness, the paramount ruler of Ubima, Prince Ehain Williams, also spoke.
The Iguere Council government recognized traditional rulers visited the scene of the crime, and what we saw is an eyesore. It's something that needs the intervention of the state government, not even the local government, to be able to put in place, because the high level of damage is something that we, the local government, cannot take care of. Yeah, my recommendation to the commission is that they should liaise with the security agent to arrest those people who committed such abominable thing.
A representative of the State Fire Service, John Chukwumade, also testified after submitting the agency's report on the incident. Correspondent Emekotoka reports that the chairman of Iguere local government area, Israel Abosi, spoke to newsmen after the hearing.
The law is very open. Nobody is above the law. We have set up a panel of inquiry, and we are asking them that, look, let the proper investigation be done in compliance with their terms of reference that warranted their creation. We cannot hide under any guise to perpetrate criminality. The law must take its course. Those that have indulged in this act must be brought to book and the appropriate penalty executed, so that will serve as a sufficient deterrent to further occurrence of such actions.
Still to come, President Tinubu appoints acting chief of army staff. Stay with us. You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The Rivers State Local Government Election Petition Tribunal started its sitting on Wednesday. Our correspondent reports that the tribunal, led by Chief Magistrate Betty Sunny Hart, granted a motion by the chairmanship candidate of the Social Democratic Party in Gokana local government area, Kenneth Alebea, to inspect ballot papers and result sheets used for the election in Ward 10. In a separate sitting, the tribunal, headed by Chief Magistrate Menene Boromo, also granted a motion by Action Alliance and its chairmanship candidate in Obiakpo local government area, Okechukwu Victor Amadi, to inspect electoral materials used for the elections. Away from that, the Director General of Strong Workshop, Emmanuel Chukwu, has expressed gratitude to the APC and PDP leadership in Ward 14 for their collaborative effort in securing Chijioke Ihunwo's victory as the Obiakpo local government chairman. Speaking during an interview, Mr. Chukwu extended his appreciation to PDP Chairman Aaron Chukwuemeka for his support and congratulated Bright Wobo on his election as a councillor of Ward 14. Mr. Chukwu urged Mr. Ihunwo to prioritize inclusivity and ensure the ward is actively involved in his administration.
I, Director General of Strong Workshop, Emmanuel Bekwelem Chukwu. I want to thank the leadership of APC and PDP in Ward 14 for coming together to support Ambassador Chijioke Ihunwo to emerge as Obiakpo local government chairman. And my most sincerely appreciation goes to the PDP party chairman, Honorable Aaron, for giving his nephew support and as well his immediate community brother to emerge as the councillor of Ward 14, Honorable Bright Wobo. So I want to tell Honorable Chijioke Ihunwo to make sure that he carry Ward 14 along.
On the spot, the president of Rumoha Youth Council in Eneka Clan, Progress Chukwu, also congratulated the Obiakpo Council boss. He extended the congratulations to both Chizi Nwochukwu and Thank God Amadi on their appointment as Chief of Staff to the Council at the Flood Control Committee in Obiakpo local government area. He, however, appealed to them for prompt and effective solutions to address the flooding issues in his area and surrounding and environs.
I'm using this medium on behalf of the community to draw the attention to areas affected by flood in our community. Areas like Riowuru Road, Oyantawoji in Romo, our community. We have some areas in Romo Cholo community, Romesara, Romo Gunuma, Romo Sita, and other areas where flood has taken over and residents are forced to leave their houses and properties. We plead to the local government chairman, Honorable Ambassador Chijioke Ihunwo, and the flood control committee to come quickly to our aid and provide possible, adequate and lasting solutions to this issue. And we pray that God guides him to succeed.
And now the Rivers State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Evans BP, says the ministry is investigating the cause of the collapsed three-story building under construction in Iriebe, Obiakpo local government area. He said this during an on-site assessment of the collapse alongside some officials of the Greater Port Harcourt City Development Authority and directors of the ministry.
As a government, I represent the governor in this mission, and I feel so sad that people will be building without having a building approval. Well, we thank God that no life is lost. We must investigate to know the engineer, the owner of this land, which is the property, if approvals are being given, if fencing permit is being given, if they did not contravene, then we will now know what to do. But so far, investigation is ongoing as to know the owner, the engineer, and all that. Then the ministry will take its action in collaboration with the Greater Port Harcourt. We are going to do it together to make sure we get it right.
The commissioner said structural defects, negligence, cutting corners, and use of substandard materials by the contractor may have led to the collapse of the building.
And you can see the level of substandard materials used in this building. We have more sand than cement, which is tantamount to killing. The engineer or the subcontractor intention is to kill people. If you know you are building and you want to build to satisfy people, the standard must be maintained. If they say it's 3 wheelbarrow of cement, 3 wheelbarrow of shapings, sand, all the proportions must be carried according to specification. But in this circumstance, what we see is the sand is more than the cement. Even the rods are also not a quality rod.
He, however, called on property owners and developers to get approved building plans from the ministry to allow for regular inspection that will ensure conformity with building approvals and specifications. Correspondent Mekwotoka reports that the collapsed building has been temporarily sealed by the state government pending the outcome of the investigation. Away from that, the acting administrator of the Greater Port Harcourt City Development Authority, Tonto David, says the collaboration between the authority and the Rivers State Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development holds a lot for the future of urban management and physical development in Rivers State, with good benefits for developers, investors and stakeholders in the built sector. Dr. Davis said this when the Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Evans BP, paid him a work visit in his office. The acting administrator noted that the authority would leverage that collaborative engagement between the two government establishments, as the Greater Port Harcourt City Master Plan covers both the old and the new city. He said the authority and the Ministry of Urban Development would work together towards ensuring effective and efficient urban management in accordance with the mandate of Fubara-led administration.
It holds a lot for the future. You can't have the new without the old. The new came from the old, and the master plan covers both the old and the new. That's what the Greater Port Harcourt master plan covers. So the collaborative effort that you see today is one thing that we are not taking for granted. We have put heads together to ensure that this government for Seminary Fubara, that to do with urban management becomes a top priority. Of course, there will be more of this because there's a lot we have discussed, and over the few weeks from now, we begin to see them materialize.
On the spot, the Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development said he visited the authority to engage with Dr. Davies in several areas, including information sharing and knowledge. Mr. BP also frowned at the attitude of some individuals who embark on building development without requisite approvals from the relevant ministry.
Building without approval is a taboo. It's a punishable offense. Like this afternoon, we heard in Irebe, we have a collapsed building. We are just coming from there, and it will trust you to know that even the owner of the building doesn't even have approval. So there is need for you to get approval so that the engineers and the debt and the town planners will go and see, verify, tell you the area you will stop. You don't to go more than what is being approved for you. And for those who build there without approval, we pray we get them and let them know the punishment that accrue to that.
In other news, the Rivers State University Alumni Association, Rivers State Branch, has announced its new Executive Council for 2024. A statement by the Electoral Committee Chairman Ememike Amadi and Secretary Kate Polway said the new leadership is headed by Nchele Mwolo Elewo, who was elected chairman. Harold Oji will serve as vice chairman, with Juliet Ofoni as the general secretary and Comfort Kabari as the assistant secretary. Other positions include Christiana Henry Dibe as treasurer, Egop Gogo as financial secretary, and Beauty Dami Biabo Ogolo taking on the role of welfare officer. Also, the organizing secretary position goes to Nice Takiri, while the public relations officer role is held by Joseph Charles Wiki. Victor Angles has been appointed as the auditor. In other news, President Bola Tinubu has appointed Major General Olufemi Olatubosu Oluyede as the acting Chief of Army Staff. This was disclosed in a statement on Wednesday by the presidential spokesman, Bayo Onanuga. He said Oluyede will hold sway as a COAS pending the return of Lieutenant General Taurid Abiodun Lagbaja, who is said to be indisposed and is receiving treatment abroad. And now on the international scene, Spain is enduring its worst flooding disaster in decades, with at least 95 people dead and dozens more missing after huge rain swept the eastern province of Valencia and beyond. On the news this morning, you heard reactions are trailing Wednesday's court ruling that stops rivers allocation. And on the foreign scene, Spain is facing its deadliest flood in decades. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.
The show continues after this break on Nigeria Info.